If you have a BMW F30 and you want to start modding your car, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you some of the best mods to start with. So if you just got an F30 or you want to start modding it and you're new to modding your cars or just new to BMWs and the F30 specifically, I'm going to be showing you some easy mods that you can do for relatively cheap. They're also super easy to install and they make a pretty good difference on your car. So if you guys are new to the channel, this is my 2017 BMW 330i. That of course means it is an F30. So all the mods that I'm going to be talking about today apply specifically to an F30. Now this is also my car, a 2015 BMW 435. So this is of course an F32, basically a 4 Series coupe. So if you guys have one of these, a lot of these mods that I'm going to be talking about on the F30 also apply to the F32, but some things you need like a specific version. I'll talk about that more when I get to it. But what I'm going to do is just focus on the F30 today, and I'll probably make another video like this for the F32, but this one's really going to be specifically for the F30 people out there. So all the mods I'm going to be talking about today will be linked down in the description below, guys, if you want to get some for yourself. They're all pretty cheap, and again, all super easy to install as well. So great beginner mods. But with that said, guys, it is super hot outside, so let's not waste any more time and let's get right into it. So we'll start off with some exterior mods. After that, we'll go into maybe some performance and interior mods. But yeah, with that said, the first mod I want to talk to you guys about is this gloss black double slit grille. So if you guys have an F30, especially a base model, your car probably came with those ugly chrome grills. If you guys are like me and most car guys out there, you do not like the chrome. Although chrome could look good in some applications, I just don't think it looks good on the F30, more of like a sporty sedan. So personally, I think it's almost a must to change out your chrome grills for these gloss black ones. Not only are they gloss black, but they're also double slit over here. So typically the grills that your car will come with are just single slit. These are double slit, making them look a little more aggressive. You can also get these grills for pretty cheap. Again, links for everything down in the description below, but they usually go for about like 40 to 60 bucks. And just like everything I'm going to be talking about, they're super easy to install. Now, this is a great example of this will apply to the F32, but is a different one than the F32. And what I mean by that is it's a great mod to do to the F32, but the grill on the F32 is actually different. So that link that I have down in the description below is only going to apply for the F30s. Again, for all you F32 people out there, I will make a separate video for you guys. So yeah, definitely a great first mod to do, super cheap, super easy to install. While we're here, another one I want to talk to you guys about is these crossbar covers. So as you guys can see behind the grill, there is this red bar. Now normally it is just straight up black. You can't really tell that it's there, but I got these crossbar covers that basically just snap on. Again, super easy to install, and it gives the car a bit of accent color behind the grill. Now I went with red because I thought it'd be cool to match the interior of this car, but you guys can go for any color you'd like. They have a whole bunch of options, and again, it kind of just gives the car a little more accent colors throughout. It's pretty subtle, especially on camera, but I swear in person you can definitely notice it, and I think it gives the car a little more character. Now you guys will notice a theme here. All the mods that I'm talking about I already did on my car, and I honestly did barely anything else besides these mods that I'm talking about. And the reason for that is, like I said before, these are great beginner mods. Now you can obviously just go straight into suspension, new wheels, all that type of stuff, but that stuff gets expensive. I personally like to start off slow on my builds and then speed up a little later. Again, just starting off with the smaller, easier, and fun mods. So as you guys can tell, my F32 has a lot done to it. It's on KW coilovers, it has some nice forged wheels, it has a carbon fiber front lip, it has a lot of stuff done to it. But similar to the F30, I started off with all these small mods because again, I just think they're a great place to start. I've only had my F30 for a few months now, and I've only gotten a chance to do a few mods to it. So of course, these mods that I did are the mods that I think you guys should start off with as well, but totally up to you. But anyways, guys, with that said, let's just jump into the next mod. So the next mod I want to talk about actually is right next to the grill, and that is these blacked out side markers right over here. So if you guys are from the US and I think some other countries as well, you'll know that BMW puts these ugly orange side markers on their cars. Now, of course, I swapped that out for a black one. Although it does blend in with the car pretty well, this actually is not paint matched. On my white car, I had to get paint matched. But if you guys want just a smoked out one on a black car, it's going to blend in really well. If you have a white car and you'd rather just a black side marker instead of an orange one, you can also just get a cheaper smoked out side marker. These ones are about like maybe 15 to 20 bucks, but if you guys want to get a paint matched one, those ones get a little more pricey, but they're still not too bad. They're about like 100 to 110 bucks. But like I said, if you guys are just okay with a smoked out one, they're super cheap, and again, they are super easy to install. So the next mod that I think every BMW F30 owner should get is these M style mirror caps. Now, similar to the grills, you can get these in multiple variations. For example, I got these from Keys Motorsports. These are real carbon fiber M style mirror caps, but you can get them in real carbon fiber non-M style if you want, or you can get them M style but just gloss black, which of course is going to be way cheaper. But just in general, guys, I think it makes a huge difference on the car. Definitely makes it look a lot more aggressive. And then a nice accessory mod to these are these smoked out sequential turn signals over here. These are also super easy to install and pretty cheap. And if you're gonna change out the mirror caps, you might as well change those out while you're there as well. So the next model I wanna talk about, guys, is in the rear, and that is this trunk lip spoiler. So as you guys can tell, this one is also carbon fiber for me. I did get this one from Keys Motorsports as well, so huge shout out to them. But there are different options. You can get these in just normal like gloss black plastic if you want something cheaper. But even the carbon fiber options for these different mods are not too badly priced. If you guys watch my channel, you'll know that I actually just recently installed this, and I was actually waiting to make this video right now until I actually got this spoiler installed because I wanted to include it in this video, because I honestly think these are great mods to do to these cars. As you guys can tell, it gives the trunk a nice extended look. It's not too aggressive. I didn't go for some like crazy high kick one, just like a performance style one, and I think it's perfect on this car. It really gives it a nice look in my opinion, makes it a little more aggressive, not too crazy though. Here's just another look from the rear. So the next mod that I want to talk about is aesthetic, but it's also kind of performance, so it might be a good transition from these aesthetic mods to some performance mods. So with that said, the next one I want to talk about is wheel spacers. So as you guys can tell, my wheels poke out a good amount, and that of course is because I have wheel spacers on the car. So if you look right there, if you guys can see this black piece right over here, that is all the wheel spacers. So currently on this F30, I have 18mm in the rear, and then I also have 12mm in the front, which I personally think is a perfect aggressive setup. It makes the wheels stick out a little more, again, giving the car an overall more aggressive look. So here's just a quick look at the rear, and then here is a look at the front. As you guys can tell, it has a nice like flush look to it. Otherwise, on a stock car, the wheels go in a lot and it kind of just looks a little goofy. Now, of course, if you just get some aftermarket wheels like I have on my 435, you can just get the right offset, and you guys can see like that, it already has a nice aggressive fitment without needing wheel spacers. But unfortunately though, on these cars with their stock wheels, they definitely sink in a lot. But rather than just buying some aftermarket wheels for a couple $1,000s, you can buy some wheel spacers for maybe like $100 or $200, and it'll also give you that more aggressive wheel setup. Now, just like everything else, wheel spacers are pretty easy to install. They should give you some added performance because you are making the track of the car a little wider. Now, you're not really gonna feel much, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but it definitely makes a huge difference in terms of aesthetics, in my opinion. Now, of course, I went for a very aggressive setup on this F30, probably the widest that you can reasonably do on these cars. But if you guys don't want something that aggressive, feel free to get like a smaller spacer. I did do a complete video about the wheel spacers on this F30, showing like different sizes and all that type of stuff. So if you guys want to maybe do like 15mm in the rear, whatever you'd like, totally up to you. Check out that video, it'll show you all the different options. All right guys, so that's pretty much it for all the aesthetic mods. Again, there's a whole bunch of different options you can do, but these are just some of my favorite starter beginner mods for these cars specifically. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other mods that I've missed, but these are some good ones to start off with. But with that said, let me pop open the hood and we'll go into some performance mods. All right guys, so like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, this is a 330. That means it has the B48, the turbo 4-cylinder from BMW. But since I want this video to apply to all F30s, these mods that I'm going to be talking about could be applied to like a 335, a 330, a 340, 328, pretty much any F30 out there. So although some of the stuff that I'm showing you on my car might look a little different than yours, the idea is still the same. With that in mind, that means I can't really go into too much detail about performance mods, but there are two things that I want to talk to you guys specifically about. And the first one is right over here, and that is an air intake. So this is a BMS air intake. Now again, this is going to look different for like your 340, your 328, your 335, but all similar concept, all hover around like $250. So not too badly priced. Now theoretically, they should get you more power, but really it's not going to be too much. The nice thing about these is they give you an amazing sound. They really help emphasize the turbo noises in these turboed BMWs. I know performance mods in general could be a little intimidating, but an air intake is super easy to install. You're only just replacing your factory air box over here, so it's not like it's anything major. And as you guys can tell, the air intake sits right over here, so it's not like you have to like work deep inside the engine bay or anything like that. So definitely a great beginner performance mod. So the next thing I want to talk to you guys about, I actually don't have installed on this car, but I did have it installed on my 435 at some point, and I currently have it installed on my X3 M40, and that is a JB Plus. Now, if you guys don't know what a JB Plus is, it's basically like a chip or a piggyback tune that you plug into your car. It's literally just a plug and play. You can get like 30, 40, 50 horsepower sometimes out of it, and it's super cheap. It's only about like $250. So if you think about like how much money you're spending to get that amount of power, it is a great deal. If you guys don't want to flash tune your car because it is a larger commitment, it's also a lot more expensive, a JB Plus is a great option. All right, and with that said, I'm gonna put this plastic piece back on. I'm gonna close the hood as well. And I'm gonna run inside the car with some nice AC because it is literally 95 degrees outside right now, guys. And I'm sweating up a storm. Let's jump into some interior mods. Now, there isn't too many things that we can actually do to the interior that don't get a little more pricey, but there are a few things that I wanna mention. So the first thing I wanna mention is this right over here, and that is an aftermarket start button. So I'm sure as you guys know, these cars come with just a basic start button, just flat black, nothing special about them, but you can get a few different options. So as you guys can tell, I have a crystal start button, which I would highly recommend. This thing looks super classy. It looks really nice at night because like the light shines through it. But if you guys want something a little cheaper or something just a little more sport oriented, you can get a red start button or maybe like a blue one, a yellow one, whatever to like match the interior of your car. But I personally like the red one or this crystal start button. So if you guys go for like a solid color start button like red, blue, whatever, those are only about like 10 bucks. This crystal one is a little more, it's about like 20. But again, guys, I think this one is way nicer, but totally up to you. Installation for all of them are exactly the same. Now for the next one, I actually have to step out of the car again, and that is these sport pedals right over here. Now, again, guys, if you're familiar with these cars, you'll know that these cars come with just basically normal black pedals, but these ones have a nice aluminum look to them. They look a little yellow or green on camera, but I swear, guys, like they're just like silver aluminum and they look really good. I know it's something you're not gonna notice all the time because obviously you don't look down there all the time. You know, your feet are covering them or whatever it is, but they definitely give the car a nice premium sporty feel, especially when you're entering the car and you can see them like that. I think they look really good. They're also pretty cheap, guys. These pedals are only about like 15 to 20 bucks on Amazon, and just like everything else on these lists, they are super easy to install. All right, so the last interior mod that I want to talk about, and basically the last mod in general, is Beamer Code. So if you guys don't know what Beamer Code is, it's basically an app that you connect to your car with using an OBD adapter. You can code in a whole bunch of different features into your car, from like folding mirrors to turning off like certain lights, different animations, all that type of stuff. So if you guys are new to BMWs, definitely get an OBD adapter. Look into Beamer Code. I made a whole bunch of videos about it, how to use it, different cool features you can do. But yeah, definitely a good one to do, guys, especially if you're new to BMWs and you're new to modding your cars. But anyways, guys, otherwise that pretty much wraps up this video. It is super hot, so I'm gonna run inside right now. But yeah, hopefully you guys found this video helpful and entertaining. A whole bunch of people messaged me and they asked me like what mods they should do like to start off with. So I figured I'd make this video, kind of consolidate it, talk about like my personal opinions for like great mods to start off with. Obviously, it's what I do personally, and it's what I think other people should do. But if you guys want to jump right into like wheels and suspension and like large turbos, obviously feel free to. I just think if you want to like start off slow and, you know, kind of get more comfortable with modding your cars and doing things yourself, I think this is a great way to do it, but totally up to you. So anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, please drop me a like down below. It really helps me out. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.